Hello again and welcome back to another one. And today we have a couple of topics to cover. One from Charlamagne, who recently made some interesting comments about Eminem that got shut down by Jadakiss and Millies in the process when he tried to argue that Eminem shouldn't be held up as the standard. And his disingenuous argument was shut down with quickness. That sparked some interesting reactions online. More on this in a bit. Today we also have more on a certain mainstream publication that claimed the world moved on from Eminem when they reviewed Music to be Murdered By. And it was peak irony when news about the publication hit the web a few hours ago. More on this in a bit. Today we also have big news in hip-hop music for Missy Elliott, who is gonna be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year. Check this out. Missy Elliott will be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the first female rapper to achieve the honor. And Missy's been getting props for this milestone for the most part, but we've been combing through articles about this milestone, and so far it's nothing like last year.
Hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
And for those of you who are new to this channel, this was how it went down. Major publications like Rolling Stone wasted no time to muddy the waters with articles like Eminem has now been inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before countless black hip-hop pioneers who paved the way for his success. What message does that send? And now that Missy Elliott has gotten in before countless hip-hop pioneers, perhaps it's too soon, but we've been waiting for the articles to drop. But so far, but don't hold your breath, because the year before Eminem got inducted, Jay-Z got in before countless hip-hop pioneers, and there was no outrage from these publications or quote hip-hop heads on Twitter. Moving on to the next point today. Months ago, back in 2021, we covered the story of when Vice shared this on Facebook, a link to their review of Eminem's Music to be Murdered By, that's currently sitting at 4.8 stars on Amazon and 8.8 out of 10 based on Metacritic user reviews. But check this out that left many with a head scratch on social media from Vice. The tragedy of Slim Shady is that he's still writing fight music for high school kids, except now he's nearly 50 years old, yelling at clouds in a world that has moved on.
Few moments later.
Vice Media, once worth $5.7 billion, is preparing to file for bankruptcy. Now mind you, for rappers alive this decade, Eminem has the second biggest hip-hop album of the decade so far, and his album opened to stellar reviews from fans and customers. So yeah, the world moved on from Vice Eminem, and I wonder how that happened. But seriously, across the board, nearly everyone agrees their content dipped in quality over the years, so it was only a matter of time. And just like we pointed out in the last video, when Vinnie Paz claimed there's many rappers better than Eminem, like worry about yourself. In Vice's case, the world moved on from their publication while they were worried about Eminem, and they dropped perhaps the most ill-informed Music to be Murdered By review. For instance, the review claimed Eminem makes music for white people who think they are oppressed. While Eminem was the most streamed hip-hop artist in Africa at this time. Hate the music, that's completely fine, but there's no need to include straight-up lies in reviews. And back then, the writer was getting blasted and accused of having some unresolved trauma that they blamed Eminem for. And on topic, in response to the news of bankruptcy, you find reactions like this all over the place. It's about time. Probably the worst media outlet, to be honest. Another one, rest in piss.
Sheesh.
This was peak irony, to say the least. Moving on to the next point today. So far, it looks like Snoop Dogg was the only one to fall for Charlamagne's bait when it comes to Eminem, as he tried it recently with Jadakiss and Millies. And from Twitter it goes, Charlamagne saying everything was lined up perfectly for Eminem, as if he wasn't busting his bum underground, battling and pushing his demo to get noticed by someone like Dre. His come up was authentic, that's why he's the blueprint for many rappers coming up. Glad Jadakiss shut him down.
I know people like to use Eminem as the bar for white rappers, but he shouldn't be.
I use him as a bar for white rappers.
Why shouldn't he be?
Because he's an anomaly, meaning that Eminem had everything lined up for him perfect. You got Jimmy Iovine.
Coming up in the scene as a battle rapper, I had been through a lot of moments that were like this and ended up being like this. Because, you know, and everyone was telling him, don't f with him.
Everybody around me, the so-called execs and what have you, were all against it.
But he was nice though.
Before that,
Super
though,
nice.
But he was
super
nice.
I like his story. Charlamagne's from where he came from, trailer park, the confusion with his moms and all of that whole thing, the where he made it to, I think is And it's not just because he's white. You know what I mean? A lot of people like to throw shots. He might have got a couple of doors open for his complexion, for the connection, but he can really spit.
Nah, he can rap.
He's a hell of a rapper.
So who you would say is the bar for white rap?
I mean, I don't know if it's a bar.
He just
but
saying it ain't fair with him.
Yeah, it ain't
either
fair
way.
with him, and he's so
yeah.
big. Yeah, he's
like
the biggest thing
Michael
you've ever
Jackson,
seen. That's what
yeah.
I'm saying. It's just like if every white rapper got to get to that level, then that means everybody's a failure.
I think just that level of respect, though. It's a different level of respect. Even if you take away some of his accolades, like everybody know he can rap. You know what I mean? That's what I set out to do. Like,
And now, in response to just how ridiculous his claim was, the user adds, literally everybody told Dre not to sign M. Dre's whole label staff was against it. Nobody welcomed M into the game until Dre proved him. You can say stuff started lining up perfectly for M after Dre stamped him. Yes, but he still went from being that poor to superstardom. Like Dre has explained this in many interviews, and you'd think a hip-hop media personality should be aware by now, but just like the Vice writer, they'd rather make up narratives on the spot. And in response to the clip, check this out. Amazing how quickly he pulls back when somebody, Charlamagne, is probably terrified of being disliked by, says he respects Eminem. You see it play out in real time. But what do you guys think? Tell us below. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more, and see you on the next one.